It's India's moment on the global stage. Everyone's talking about the G20 summit that's happening in the national capital. And on G20 week, we've been getting you all the biggest newsmakers, the biggest influential minds of the country, and of course, spiritual voices also, what this means for India and why it's referred to really as the India story. It's my pleasure to be joined here on India Today by Sri Ravi Shankar, Art of Living founder. Sri Ravi Shankar, thank you very much for joining us on India Today. I know you're joining me right now from Boone in North Carolina. So let me just start off by asking you, what is the perception really of India right now globally? And do you believe it's changed? You've traveled far and wide. So do you think it's changed over the last many years?
Definitely. It's so visible, so obvious. India's power has risen, India's prestige has risen, and we are anyway knowledge-based industry, and our knowledge, whether it is IT or spiritual, has really taken the world over.
In such a case, do you really see G20 as an opportunity to kind of put the focus also on India and how we lead spiritually across the world?
G20 is happening every year from different countries. The participation has been happening, and these are the few countries which make major decisions, take major decisions for the development. And now this year has been the chance for India. India has done extremely well, and we have opened up the whole country. Usually G20 happens in one location, but we have made the whole country the platform for G20. And so it has really created a big buzz. And people have come to know what India is all about. It's not just a biggest economy, or it's also culturally vibrant, religiously tolerant, and spiritually uplifting. And today the world needs peace.
Yeah.
People are fed up with all the mental health issues and war in Europe. So India is the solution, I would say.
So how do you really see India playing a role, particularly, as you mentioned, at a time of global conflict? Historically, we've always been for peace. Some of our biggest leaders, some of our most influential faces, historic figures, have always propagated peace. India is a land of peace, essentially. So now that we're hosting the G20 summit at such a crucial juncture, when there's a Russia-Ukraine conflict as well, how do you really see, Sri, India's role in that?
See, India's voice has always been saved, and we are very sensible in whatever we are saying, because we are just and sensible. This is something that world has started to notice. Number one, we are sensible, and we cannot be bullied. Number two. Number three, we are very sensitive. We are sensitive to the feelings and to the emotions of people of the entire world. And the mindsets. So we in this country have embraced such diversity. See, we have a communist government in one part of the country, and we have multi-party democracy, which is not present in anywhere else in the world. There are bi-party democracies, but we have so many parties. And then on top of it, we are the largest population in a country that the world is seeing today, and young population. And so we have a lot of things to offer to the world. Of course, I would say spirituality is the need of the world today, when there is so much of distress and aggression and depression that is clogging the youth population.
It's an important point that you've raised, but it's not always been the case that India's power, spiritually or otherwise, has been recognized. What really do you think has changed in the last few years that's made this transformation in India's image, in India's perception?
When we become stronger, world notices us. And when we are vocal, when we present ourselves the way with dignity we need to, and get out of the colonial mindset, then, everyone would appreciate that. See, if we feel bad about ourselves, we have low self-esteem, we feel meek and weak, we hide our own tradition, our culture, and we feel subservient to everything else, then of course world will not recognize you. And now we have stood up in the past few years. We have really been proud about our culture. We have been proud about our achievement. We have been very firm in our stance, what we think is right. And then, things have started falling in place.